Injured here, 53, Argent Shelf Redux, blue team. It's Aetherion as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of great manipulation and control abilities, begins in melee combat, has some potent offense too, alongside Evilmario5 is an Ordo Malleus brother captain, durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on very good offense and support. Fights in melee combat. Riding off the blue team, Chaplain Ordie is a Warlock, a melee commander that can leap into combat. Awesome disruption, mobility and offense with a little bit of support thrown in too. This is the same Han elite scheme. Red team, happystickman is a Lord Commissar. Starts off with a refractor field, fights in melee combat with some strong offense and support. Sentinel backing him up there. Alongside on a red team, Corniflox is a Commando, infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style, begins range combat with a twin link shooter. And rounding off the teams, Soberson is a Lord General, fights range combat, retinue of stormtroopers to help him out, awesome defense and support, and can also add to this retinue of stormtroopers. So we have Sorcerer versus Imperial Guard on this west side. Looks like he's dipping into the middle though. Doom bolts going off, and that is a good shot. Holy crap. Slugger's going to be forced off immediately. Can do so much damage with that early on. They're now going to consume one of the heretics to get his energy back. Ready to throw out some more Doom bolts on this nicely blobbed up stack of 2 Guardian squads. There we see it. And when he's going to throw out another one, those guys are going to drop models. Lord Commissar trying to tie up the CSM as he should, and they in turn go for the garrison. Going to see another throw of Doom bolts. I think there it is. Ouch. Levels him to 2 already. Like a quarter of the way through 2 as well. And not a good opening for Happy Stickman. Not too happy, are ya? How do you even know when a Stickman's happy? They ain't got a face. Meanwhile, mid, Grey Knights pushing through, or Ordo Malleus, as I should say, strike squad with their Storm Bolters. Are they going to stick in this engagement with the Sluggers? It's risky. They have their burners and they do not stick in it. Would have been down to special attacks, I think, and they might have got some as the Sluggers ran in there. They have a pretty good special strike squad. Wide arc swing, stuff goes flying. Multi-laser turret is keeping Aetherion off the cap. In fact, a full retreat and noise marines on the field. Gonna need something else though, otherwise the Lord Commissar is just gonna run in and tie them up immediately. Need some havocs to back them up, or maybe some raptors to jump on the back lines, give the Lord Commissar something to think about. He's most likely gonna get the power sword over here too. Catechins on the field then, so they can knock back and suppress any heretics that get close. Also disrupt noise marines from long range. Decent choice over here, but if havocs hit the field, he might want some spotters as well. Soberson with a heavy weapon squad have a heavy bolter. These guys now have 6 models, up to 900 hit points, which is probably quite mental when they get their refractor field thing. Might be quite difficult to deal with them in tier 1. Immolator blade for the Warlock. Brother Captain got anything? He's got the unending purge and some purgation up. Incinerators will be burning stuff down and suppressing units. What's going on over here? Noise Marines going for the multi-laser turret, and they do get it down. Lord Commissar, as expected, going straight after them, but those heretics can Doom Blast to slow them down with suppression. CSM now joining the party. They do have Eternal War up. Doom Bolts flies in. Sorcerer's going to be forced to retreat though. There's the Doom Blast, and now these guys can do their work against the Guardian, and look at that damage blobbed up like that, hitting both squads. And he forces off the Happy Stickman. Is he going to push through to the power? That's going to be pretty risky. Uh-oh. Bad engagement for Grey Knights here. Sluggers are in, and Assassin's Knife Commando Knob is in. Going absolutely ballistic with that thing. Purgation perhaps lucky to get away. Strike Squad are still in combat. What are they up to? Big misplay from Evil Mario. Poorly positioned. Let the Sluggers get way too close. I guess the Purgation were caught not firing, or maybe they got suppressed by the looters first, who were perhaps infiltrating and stuff. Either way, good engagement for Corniflox, who can now decap the natural for blue team. Doesn't go for the power because there's a bunch of Eldar. We do see triple Dire Avengers, excuse me, into a guarded weapon team. And he tries to run into it and gets forced to retreat. Lord General with a medical sergeant fella who can give out medical packs to heal you. Can't give them to himself though. Havocs for Aetherion, double Havocs in fact. That might be pretty tough for Happy Stickman, especially if he keeps them split up sufficiently so they don't both get hit by his flare global thing. Catachun's going to get into combat with the Havocs, and these guys do have power melee, and now Havocs have that reduced melee resistance type thing where they only get 20% rather than the regular 40%. Same change for Devastators. I don't think Noise Marines get melee resistance when they have their Blastmaster. Not sure. Suppressed here is the Warlock. Could throw out his Immolator. There it is. And these guys going to try and tough it out. Looks like they're just going to move away. Oh, but then get disrupted by a bunch of grenade launchers from the Stormtroopers. And they do have their Warrior Acolyte fella. Would be cool to see these guys get their own little squad, their Warrior Acolytes. And it's not to be, no, at least not yet. Lord General with Flak Jacket incoming. Immune to knockback, which is a pretty big deal, and at 30% less damage is pretty damn strong. Lord Commissar, I think, was trying to chase down the Havocs. Did he kill them? No, they're back at base. Here come the Grey Knights and Ordo Malleus stuff to double up against Happy Stickman. Now he needs to back off, turn and engage as much as he can. Just hold them up so that his team can double the mid and he can try and delay this cap as long as he can. But he doesn't want to lose anything. Sentinel going in, that could be risky. Gets the stomp and should be able to get away, I think. And now a full retreat out. He did okay there. But can the red team take advantage and double up against Chaplain Ordie? There's a good Immolator again. Followed up by a Destructor. Yes, nicely done. Killed a bunch of guardsmen. And he leveled up to 3. Damage over time from the Immolator, as well as that fire spell thing. What's this? It's a bunch of Ordo Malleus going to come and try and flank something. They might get caught quite badly themselves though. Depends if the looters spot them in time and can set up, I think. Sluggers with their burners gives them a couple of power melee weapons and some actual burners to wreck generators and stuff. This is going to be a bad engagement for the Orks, I think. No, the looter's able to set up there, but here comes that brother captain who does not care about your suppression. Ties them up, and the Strike Squad getting some specials against these sluggers there. That could have been really bad for Corniflox, but he does get away without any squad wipes. Although now it's Soberson who's going to be under the cosh, because that is a webway gate, and up pops Ordie to absolutely decimate that heavy weapon squad. Down it goes, and Soberson not reacting to the double quickly enough, and as you can see, he pays for it. Lost the Sentinel, I think, and also lost the heavy weapon squad. Some buildable cover up around. Here comes the Commando Knob, going to try and hold up these things with a stun bomb. There it is. Gets the purgation, but now they're going to lose power, I think, unless his guardsmen can stop them. I don't think they're going to be able to. These guys stealing the bunker. Yeah, guardsmen can't do anything about that. They're going to lose the power and get their VP at least decapped. And here are some Noise Marines harassing power and keeping the Orks at bay. No upgrades whatsoever for these shooter boys. Not often you see that in a 3v3. He's gone straight into tier 2 and he's getting a death dread up, which could be quite potent because Evilmario's floating and he's not gone tier 2 yet. Holy crap, that's a big float. That's an Indrid level float. So these purgation are not going to get side cannons anytime soon. Here comes a Wraith Lord for Ordie. Not going to get up the field in time to contest that death dread though, I don't think. They do bash the power though, so they can just back off and bide their time, see what comes out. They got to be thinking that tier 2 stuff is going to start hitting the field soonish. Happy Stickman going for a Manticore, no doubt, to battle those double Havocs, but Aetherion did lose his Noise Marines. There they are. I guess maybe he forgot about them and they got shot down. Not sure. That's a Basilisk Flare, reducing the range of all that stuff. What's going on mid now? Here comes a Death Dread. Already has burners and bits. 300 hit points on top of it, with some flamers on the front to burn down generators and stuff. These sluggers taking lots of hits. Not using Swampum, I think, because he wants them to get infiltrated. But they lost all the models apart from the Nob Leader. How much hit points he has? What does he have? 450 maybe? That guy's tough. Death Dread rather comically stomping his way in to lead the line. Nothing they can... Oh, here comes the Wraith Lord. Don't see a Bright Lance here. We might see the Bright Lance on the shoulder of the Wraith Lord. Does, I think, around 95 DPS, the Wraith Lord. Less DPS than a Space Marine Dreadnought in melee, but he does do more damage per attack. He does attacks pretty slowly, but big hits on there. Special attack there on those guardsmen. Smack. Death Dread going after him does around 70 DPS heavy melee, I believe, with a really good special. And now autocannon getting shots in, buffed by the sniper rifle also. Uh-oh, Wraith Lord might go down. Yes, Aetherion, gonna say, can Aetherion warp it out? And he does. Nice save on his allied Wraith Lord there. Awareness of the map. Or maybe he was just getting yelled at to do it on TeamSpeak or something. Catachans are going to finish off these Havocs. Not awareness over here though. Or maybe he just figured he was not going to get out. There's a Zinc Shrine. Ordinarily, the Catachans are probably quite happy to take on these Eternal War CSM, but with that Shrine there, they took some hits. Lord Commissar, did he get the Power Sword at the end? Yes, he did. I'm not sure if the sword gets a different model. I don't think it does when he gets the Power Sword. Chaos Dreadnought now with autocannon for Aetherion, forcing that Death Dread to back off. He might chase it down as well. Purgation do not have their side cannons yet. Evilmario into tier 2 and purifies Terminator Librarian. Seen a lot of really shooty Grey Knight armies with multiple purgation supported by that Terminator Librarian using Sanctuary. But he's got some purifiers up here, so we might see oh no, we see the halberd. I'm gonna say we might see the sword or the staff to support them. Has the Manticore taken a shot yet for Happystickman? It's in a nice position to do so. Destructor Immolator combo again, doing a number on these Orks. These guys still not upgraded at all, the shooters. He's got stick bombers though. Pretty cool little artillery squad throwing out those bombs, and quite handy in melee too. They can handle themselves. Oh, Robes of Torment up from the Sorcerer, trying to finish off the Commando node, but I think he'll be okay. Dreadnought's taking a lot of damage. He needs to back the hell off here. You never know what he's going to run into coming forward. Kicking off in the middle. That's the smite from the Terminator Librarian, and the looters backing the hell away. They do have a beamy death gun though, so they're going to set up again and get some shots from the Wraith Lord. And this might be the end of the Wraith Lord, because that thing does big chunks of damage. Boom. Yeah, one more shot's going to take it down despite all the repairs. It should get that shot. Yes, it does. Down goes the Wraith Lord. Didn't achieve a whole lot of stuff, although it did force the red team to get some AV. Made them invest in things. Can try and take advantage of that. One of the changes in 2.5, of course, is that grenades now do half of their damage to vehicles, which is pretty good for them. Although these none of them have it. None of them can throw their grenades at these guys. They don't have their aspects. Uh-oh. Warlock gets too close, goes down. Lord General's lost all of his retinue, now repurchasing them in the field. What is this Dreadnought up to? You need to back away, fella. Just going to get shot down by the autocannon heavy weapon squad. Yes, down it goes. Lord General leveling up to 3 there, it seemed. And we have some spotters up for Soberson also. Where's that Terminator Librarian? He's back at base with those purifiers. And bashing power is Happystickman. Aetherion under the cosh here. Just Havocs, Plague Marines, and his CSM. Plague Marines. Oh, they went after the Manticore. Gonna say they might go after the Manticore. It's already down. Using some Chaos Sorcerer trickery, I guess. He has Sigil of the Rift, can also use Warp to aid their mobility. There's such good synergy with Plague Marines and Khorne Dreadnoughts, the Zinch hero. Havoc suppressing the guardsmen, but they're going to get wrecked by the Sentinel. There is Dark Flames though, which could force off this entire blob of infantry. Yeah, that's pretty painful. Pretty painful indeed. Holy crap. Global ability of the Sorcerer there. What's going on mid? Side cannon purgation squad getting a bit too close. Where's that purifier squad? There it is. 50 hit points at level 1 with one of the longest or the longest charge ranges in the game. Also have a pretty cool psychic field ability. The Justicar with a heavy melee weapon, the others with power melee weapons. They can really pack a punch when supported by the Ordo Malleus forces. There's the Sanctuary. Got a good stun bomb from the Commando. He did stun himself though. Got a bit too close to his own bomb. Here comes a Death Dread, and I think he'll be quite happy getting tangled up with this Purifier squad. Nice special attack there. I mean, they do have a heavy melee weapon, but this guy has melee resistance and vehicle armor. Heavy melee only does half damage to vehicle armor. And these guys might go down if they're not careful. Oh, he turns his attention to the Terminate Librarian, who also needs to back the hell off here. Purgation doing their damage. They're strangely split up though, and getting hit by a Manticore. Was that Happy? No, the Soberson's got another man. He's got his own Manticore up. Happy Stickman did not replace his. Bunker now. Sound to have done a good job so far. Level 3. There's a Catachan's improvised explosive, and Aetherion has no way to detect it. No way to detect these mines either. Although Plague Marines are not too worried about that. Big stack of hit points, and they also aren't as affected by suppression. Still fire at the same rate and move only 30% slower rather than 65%. I think is the default. Sluggers got to level 2 now. If you gonna say if you can get some knobs up alongside those sluggers, that's pretty scary. And he has got a knob squad on the way. Evilmario's most likely gonna save up his power and go tier 3 himself. Soberson is on the way there. Aetherion almost there, and Chaplain Ordie already there and already has double D cannons. He's been very solid on this east side here. In fact, has he lost anything aside from the Wraithlord? I don't think he has. Warlock now with the Heart of Darkness can pop enhance on the D cannon and stuff, which would be pretty nasty. Big damage spikes. Leveling up is the Lord Commissar to what? Level 4 now has stubbornness, so we might see the Fist of Brockus in tier 3 also. Some good natural synergy between those things. 115, 352. Red team trying to see this game out. Might be worth the middle Orc player Corniflox just send in a squad or 2 over to the west side, try and get it locked down. Plague Marines getting shots on the Sentinel here. They're snaring missile launchers, but the Lord Commissar has them tied up, and we're going to see a big engagement. I think in the middle the Nob squad are infiltrated, so these guys aren't going to see them. Looks like the Nob squad leader has been purchased after the infiltration though, so he's not infiltrated, and it's all kicking off. Purifiers are... where are they? There they are. They don't want to fight the Nob squad, I don't think. There's a Sanctuary though, doing a good job. Death Dread, of course, not affected by it. Down goes a Terminator Librarian, and the Purifiers are also going to go down here. I don't think they're going to get out, and no, they do not. Death Dread goes down, but the Nob squad are wrecking stuff here alongside those sluggers. Brother Captain with Blessed Aegis up now, and that Halberd doing some splash damage, power melee. Not enough to deter this Nob squad though, who have just ran through this Ordo Malleus army. So what does he do now? Get a melee Dreadnought, or does he go tier 3 for Grey Knight Terminators? It's a pretty close fight, I think. Grey Knight Terminators versus Nob squad. Depends on their ability usage, if the Nobs have Frenzy off cooldown and that kind of thing, and if Holocaust can be used, and what level the Nobs are, I guess. There's a Zinch Shrine, not firing yet. I guess it's out of range, but now they come closer, and it's going to fire really quickly because it's being worshipped. CSM behind some heavy cover of this tank trap, but he's able to push through with double level 3 Plasma Guardsmen, with both squad leaders up to 12. They're reinforcing 3 at a time. Here's some Commando Nobs. Commando squad, I should say. They can get a Nob leader with a rocket launcher, which is pretty handy. This guy, the Commando Nob, is most likely going to transition into a rocket launcher tier 3, which is what you usually see. Evilmario down to just 2 units. Purgation and Strat Squad. Strat Squad level 4, Purgation level 3. Ordie looking very strong now with double D cannons and a fire prism on the way. These guys do not have the vision to start firing here. Something needs to move forward a bit and spot for them. Constant decap status on this Western VP here. 115 to 347 on the VPs. Newman Russ on the way for Soberson. Tier 3 now for Evilmario5, so looks like he's going to be going for Grey Knight Terminus. Unless he gets a Land Raider Crusader, does have the red for it and the requisition for it. Needs to save up 200 power though. Whereas he could get Grey Knight Terminus on the field for I think 125 these days. D cannon taken out by some cool sneaky orc play from Corniflox. Under infiltration and threw in his stick bombs and then finished them off in melee. But now a Providence Warlock. The Witchblade of Kernus was buffed quite significantly in 2.5, so you might see that, although he's doing a hell of a lot of work right now with his Immolator. Holy crap. Destructor Immolator on that blob was nasty. Ordo Malleus now supporting the west side. Shooting some guardsmen. This bunker is booby-trapped, as you can see. Enemy players won't be able to see that unless they have a detector around. Brother Captain levels the fort. But here come a bunch of orcs. Brother Captain might be in trouble unless he turns around right now. There's a stomp. Gonna get shot down and then finished off by the sluggers, I think. In fact, the sluggers don't even need to get involved. He just shot down there. Oh, Blastmaster Noise Marines. Gonna need to run the hell away because those are infiltrated knobs from Hide the Boys. Katachun's all reliable. Look how much stuff that disrupted. That was crazy. Surprise, Mr. Aetherion. You need to run the hell away. Yeah, should have backed off way sooner. It's so tempting though to just try and stick in that engagement and hold up your enemy. The heretics wiped out. He's used his heretics quite well until now. And Phobos on the way for Aetherion. Blue team looking quite thin though. 2 players down to just 2 units, and red team need to take this opportunity to push the mid. And they're not doing so. Web Brigade here has not been spotted either, and it's allowing Ordie to get back into the fight incredibly quickly. Fire Prism also on the field now. There's a Bright Lance, there's D Cannon. Looks like he lost one of his D Cannons at some point. D Cannon now doing damage of a time, of course. But the Captain, what are you up to, fella? Just having a look. Red team not pushing through. I don't think they realise how thin Evilmario's army is. Because you'd think they'd be a bit more aggressive here. Especially with the Orks having a Nob Squad, which are perfect for leading a line. Nob Leader looks like he dropped on this squad and he hasn't repurchased it yet. He's probably going to go for another Nob Squad. Don't think he'll get a looted tank. Purgation trying to move up and start firing. There we go. What is that thing? That's an Eldritch into an orbital. Almost wiped out the Commando Nobs. They should be finished off. No, they very luckily escape over here. I don't think this is going to kill anything. No, they didn't have anything to follow it up really. Put a nice double nuke, and this brings blue team right back into the game in the middle in terms of pushing. Newman Russ with some repair support from the bunker there. Happy Stickman bashing power, but runs into a Phobos. Twin link las cannons on the side sponsons and a twin linked heavy bolter on top. Fire Prism edging forward, might go after the Manticore here. Yeah, Manticore's done for. Smack, 2 shots, it's going down. In fact, the Purgation can just finish it off. Soberson realizing very slowly, get a hell of a lot of red from a Manticore, 53. Another heavy weapon squad on the way for Happy Stickman. Decent choice. He wants a las cannon, I guess. Oh, here's a Baneblade. Maybe he doesn't need a las cannon because this thing will quite easily, I think, shoot down a Phobos. Sentinel goes down. Some Demon Shield action here to support the Phobos from Demon Armor. Demonic Shield, I should say. Blue team really pushing against the middle. And Evilmario has 1 unit. How are they doing this? Soberson a little bit weak, I guess. Oh, he has spotters, heavy weapon squad, and Lehman Russ. The Fire Prism causing real problems, I think. disrupting stuff and all that kind of thing. And Leman Russ doesn't want to get close because of the D-Cannon Bright Lance Fire Prism combo going on. We have some late game ranges for Ordie. That's going to be good for disrupting caps and spotting things. You also have Singularity. Oh! Rocket Run finishes off the D-Cannon and very nearly takes out the Fire Prism. That was, I assume, from Soberson. I'm not sure actually. Even Russ gets away with 31 hit points. Baneblade has not driven up and pushed against the Phobos yet. 56, 286. Avatar of Cain on the way for Chaplain Ordie. And some more guards on for Soberson. They're just for repairing, I think. Grey Knight Terminator is on the way for Evilmario5. There's tons of requisition. Over 1,000. Can get another Grey Knight Terminator squad immediately, I think. Is there some power to be built? Guess not. Red team again not edging forward at all, and they still haven't spotted that web brigade. Maybe he should put another web brigade. He's obviously got one in his base. Put one in Evilmario's base so he can get forward quicker. 56 to 283. Baneblade versus Phobos. Phobos does have some repair support and Plague Marine support too, as well as a brother captain going after it, although he's not doing a whole lot with his halberd. In fact, he goes down because that is the fist of Brockus from smacking on him. Heavy turret dropped in by Soberson's Lord General there. Big damage versus large targets. You can also upgrade it to be an executioner. Uh-oh, Heretic's gonna go down. Yes, they do. Might be the end of the Phobos because here comes a Nob squad. Where's the other one? There it is. Baneblade is not going to be in this chase though. Oh, nice stick bomber usage from the old Commando Nob. Is leveled. Oh, it gets away, does it? The Phobos? I guess so. Oh, maybe not. Lord Commissar's chasing it down. I don't think he's going to have enough to finish it. Need to be careful though. 85 DPS heavy melee. There's the Dirgecaster, and they do force off the Lord Commissar. Orks lying in wait though. They're not backing off from this west side. Purgation taking shots on Lemurs with some decent range when they use that ability of theirs. Clear Vision or something is called. Here comes some Grey Knight Terminators with silencers. This is just an incorrect tooltip. They have silencers, not Psycannons, which do inferno damage, not explosive. These guys can of course fall back on a 5-minute cooldown. That's a Rocks. Doesn't quite hit those triple Dire Avengers flush, but the captain does get away. He has his Holy Armor of Titan now. Immortal is pretty cool. What's going on west side? Something just got warped in and killed by the Sorcerer. Demon Armor using its shield to support the Phobos here. But happystickman has the VP. And it looks like it's going to be a tough nut to crack here. Might need some help, Aetherion. Pathogens, what level are these guys down? Level 4. They've done a hell of a lot of work for happystickman. Forcing melee combat now on the Sorcerer. Don't want to get too close, fellas. They're getting very, very close. Taking shots from the Phobos. Now they run away. And they should get away, I think. Well judged in the end by happystickman. But look at this. An Avatar of Cain trying to lock down this VP. Red team trying desperately to take it back to see this game out. 41-209. See it council now on the way for Ordie. I guess he did lose that Fire Prism eventually. Grey Knight Terminator is teleporting in. Finishing off the Lord General quite easily. Turning cap maybe. Double Grey Knight Terminators. We might see another one. Because he doesn't have the red to call in Paladins or the Land Raider. I don't think Interceptors is what he wants. Nice Marine's going to get Demolisher to the face. No, misses. Because of the elevation difference, I think the slight elevation difference. Brother Captain going ballistic with Immortal up, and now it's worn off. Needs to be careful. Blue team still have this VP locked down. Ordie's been really strong in this game. That webway has done wonders. And red team just haven't pushed forward at all to spot it. They've been incredibly defensive here. Although Corniflox has been coming over to this west side now and then to push. Soberson, though, has been very, very defensive. Here comes a Nob squad. These guys might want to retreat out. There we go. Oh, and there's Holocaust. Heavy turret now needs repairs. And despite the push, blue team still do not have this decap. They're trying to now. Are they going to stop this cap? Yes, they do eventually. Demonic armor and trying to get the decap here is Aetherion, the sorcerer himself, and does get it. You need a las cannon, I think, Mr. Aetherion. Or 2 or 3 of them. Still has some plague marines up. Are those new plague marines? They might be. Avatar gonna fight a Nob squad here. He might just be happy to lose it because he can just buy another one immediately, I think, Ordie. Yep. Double Nob squad forcing off the Grey Knight Terminators there. Where's the other Grey Knight Terminator squad? They're coming out of base right now. And so are the Purgation. Still kicking off though around this VP. Red team just cannot get it back. Oh, Seer Council wiped out by double Nobs. Now the Avatar under pressure. Autocannon also getting shots. This might be the end of the Avatar. But it did a hell of a lot of work over here holding up this cap. And yeah, looks like it's going to go down. Nob squad going to get a bunch of XP. Over on the west side, it's relatively quiet now. Aetherion gearing up for another push, I guess. He's put together a half-decent army. Although it might be worth it to go mid instead. Try and drag Happy Stickman stuff over there. But it looks like he's pushing this west side with help from Evilmario. All kicking off. Brother Captain getting in there with some Grey Knight Terminators. Is he? Where is the Brother Captain? There he goes. There he comes. Catachans forcing melee combat on some Grey Knight Terminators. These fellas are brave. Eldritch. It should hit the Baneblade with one of the beams. There we go. Baneblade now under threat. Leman Russ under threat. But the Grey Knight Terminators having to teleport away. As a creeping barrage from Soberson. Baneblade's going to go down, I think. Phobos getting shots. Grey Knight Terminators and the Brother Captain getting hits in. Is he? No, he's capping. Uh-oh, here comes a whole bunch of Nob squads. Corniflox now has 3 of them. Down goes the Baneblade though. Here comes the Las Cannon Havocs. And this Phobos is going to go down, you would think. But we'll see. There's Dirgecaster. Only hits one of the squads though. Think it's going to get chased down. Meanwhile, Ordie keeping the pressure up with this webway gate, which still hasn't been found. Just constant pressure on this VP. They must realise that there's a webway gate somewhere because this guy's back on the field so quickly. Nob squads chasing down the Phobos and it's not going to make it out of there. Doesn't get any rear arm hits, but even so, it's not going to make it. Headbutt, yes! Nob squad headbutt takes it down. And Aetherion has tons of power, almost 600. So he can replace it with something tasty soon. Couple of Predators maybe, although it can be dicey on that west side with tanks. But it's pretty narrow. More Seer Council for Chaplain Ordie. These guys running the hell out of there. These guys jumping into combat with power melee weapons on some awesome passive buffs for nearby allies. For the first time since one of the really early engagements, red team are actually going after blue team's VP here. Holocaust and another Holocaust. Double Grey Knight Terminator is doing a really good job fighting triple Nobs. Holy crap. Might be able to take out a squad, in fact. No, I think they're going to get out of it. That was really good defense There's a dead Sorcerer over there. Plague Marines in retreat because of the Lord Commissar and his Power Fist. The Fist of Brockus also has Emperor's Wrath. 14 to 62. Red team are holding on to the 2-1. Can they finally see out this game? Triple Grey Knight Terminators for Evilmario, soon to be quadruple Grey Knight Terminators. And Red team just are unable to deal with it right now. Oh, look at this. Chaos Terminator is being called in by Aetherion, forcing melee combat on the autocannoneer to stop it firing that very dangerous weapon. Even Russ getting way too close to stuff, although it was trying to escape the clutches of the Terminators, to be fair. Gonna go down, I think. No? Yes? Yes, down it goes. Rear armor hit. 6 to 58. Blue team have the 2-1. Can they hold on here? It's gonna be incredibly close. Where's Corniflox? Why is he not back on the field yet? He's healing up still at base. Can they retake this? There's Chaos Terminators, there's some Grey Knight Terminators. Did he lose any of them? No, he did not. Oh, he might lose these guys. That Leman Russ with Executioner is doing a hell of a lot of damage, but they can fall back. And they will get away. Yes, they do. Grey Knight Terminator. Masses of them doing pretty well here. Leman Russ trying to back that off. You need to keep moving, fella. Chaos Terminator is using their Power Fist to try and get some hits in. What is Happy Stickman up to? Has he brought some stuff to the west side? To the middle, I should say. No, he hasn't really. Red team are retaking a natural. Now, can they see this out? Surely they can. Made a meal of it. Multiple Grey Knight Terminators proving very difficult to deal with. Here comes some Knob squads though, and they're going to be pretty pissed. Any of them leveled up? Yeah, one of them is level 3, one of them is level 2. Terminator is able to get away though by retreating. Chaos Terminators don't have that luxury, so they need to just back off here. 1 VP remaining for the blue team, and they stop the counter. Catechins are going to wipe. Level 4 Catechins are going to go down. Yes, they are. Can blue team cap this? I think they're going to be able to. And they're keeping the pressure on here, so red team unable to get through to get to their VP, which is stone dead silent. Second Avatar of Cain holding up 3 Knob squads, entire Orc army pretty much. And red team are not going after blue team's natural, which is what they need to be doing right now. I think the Commando Knob's going after it. Avatar's going to be taken down, I believe. Him and Russ can maybe chase it, or maybe not. There's a Bright Lance trying to chase it down. There's some Fire Dragons on the field. Looks like they spotted the Commando Knob momentarily there. This is a Land Raider Crusader called in by Evilmario, and blue team are going to take this unbelievably with 1 VP remaining. Red team left it too late to come mid, and there it is with 1 VP on the counter. Blue team take it. Holy crap. Level 7 sorcery had with demonic armor or demon armor and Sigil of the Rift, I think. Level 7 Brother Captain did quite well towards the end. Halberd, Holy Armor of Titan, and Unending Purge alongside 4 Grey Knight Terminators, which kick some serious ass, and a late game Crusader too. Warlock hit level 10. Killed so much stuff with Destructor and his... what's it called? Immolate, there we go. Did a hell of a lot of work. Lord Commissar had Fist of Brockus. I think Carapace and Stubbornness, or Emperor's Wrath, was switching between them. Commander Nob, level 5, never did get that rocket launcher, did he? Did some good work with the knife though, and Lord General, level 8, Sniper Rifle and Flak Jacket. There you have it guys, crazy 3v3. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.